tried to tell Lil Tay or Lil Tay Cat or well, I don't even know what name to give her.
What is your least favorite thing about being a college student?
Easy, bro. Writing.
Oh, it's got to be the reading and writing.
What would you say the hardest part about writing is for you?
Honestly, it's
Say, oh, you haven't heard that name in a while. You see, 2 days ago, I was just relaxing in my room, and I
I'm just thinking, oh. What do patties taste like? Is it good or is it like chicken?
It tastes plain.
What are you playing? It's not good. What's been on here, bro? Appreciate it.
I just thought to myself, yo, what happened to Little Tay? So I did some research on TikTok, found some videos, and I seen that a couple of months ago, she apparently almost died. Apparently, she had a pretty big heart tumor. She had to have open heart surgery, which is very, very dangerous if you didn't know. And thankfully, she did make it through alive, thank God. But apparently, it was kind of like big.
People were thinking it's fake because like her parents were still doing some weird shit to her. But the old things they saw.
News at the time, but I really don't remember that happening. But this made me think back to her career and just how crazy her life probably has been throughout her whole childhood. I mean, this girl started off as the biggest flexer in the world. From Rice Gum reacting to her, another name you haven't heard in a while, to her being famous, collabing with other big creators.
What's been happening to a wife? I heard that he got a wife where his girlfriend got pregnant and after boom he just disappeared. He met either wants to beef him enough.
like Whoa Vicky, Bad Baby, and Boot Gang at the time. Yeah, 2017 was the time.
Oh my lord, those songs are low-key the greatest songs.
I'm not finna lie. That's how you know she old.
Boot gang, gang shit. I still don't know how the hell he didn't get caught.
Please welcome an absolutely new Crossout, a free-to-play multiplayer action game about battles and cool vehicles in a post-apocalyptic world. In the new update, the game has been globally redesigned. Next-generation graphics, advanced physics, complete...
Like, Lil Tay for a period of internet history was like the biggest sensation we've seen since Lil Pump. That was a time, bro. I mean, people couldn't get enough of the youngest flexer in history. I mean, she was popping out with Ferraris, doing money spreads, talking about she came from the trenches of Atlanta to the hills of Hollywood. Like, who doesn't like that? I mean, she got a lot of attention, too. I'm not gonna hold you. She was on a lot of shows, podcasts. Hell, she even collabed with Jake Paul, and that's back when Jake Paul was like running YouTube with Logan. I mean, she was literally the most famous 9-year-old in the world at that time. And now she's irrelevant. See, where I feel like she went wrong is that her and her team, aka her mother and her mother, weren't necessarily smart about how they wanted to market Lil Tay. Let me explain. See, to understand this story, you gotta understand a little bit of the history. See, Lil Tay did blow up, became the biggest flexer in history, but the thing about it is everything she was flexing wasn't
Even her money,
wasn't actually theirs. So you're probably wondering, yo, Cloud, how was it the Ferrari, the multiple mansions in the hills, how is that all real? Like, of course, like, she said it's real, so it should be real.
I swear it was her mom's boss's house.
Just walk with me a little bit. See that peep, right? Lil Tay's mother, the one I mentioned earlier, part of her team, was a real estate agent. And she had access to a lot of her clients' cars because, I don't know, look, go watch a Sunny V2 video if you want the specifics. All you need to know is her mother had access to a lot of high-class things that they didn't own. Now walk with me, right? So you could probably assume how Lil Tay got access to all of this is pretty simple. Her and her brother's mother just gave them access to those things for a little bit of time just to shoot the video, and then they gave everything right back to the owners. Now in all reality, they're not breaking any laws with this. All they're doing is just lying to people, which is very obvious this whole thing was an act in the first place, so I don't really understand why people would get mad about that. But you know, us little Jazeer kids probably ate this back then, so yeah, it is what it is. And again, like I said, there's nothing wrong with this practice, but here's the thing. We often talk about Lil Tay's mother and brother, but we never talk about her father because her father wasn't really in her life. He actually lived in a different country, Canada, with a family of his own. Now, peep, if you're wondering how Lil Tay could pull off all the flexing prowess that she be doing, I already explained how she got all of the assets that she be using in her videos is from her mother, but I didn't explain how she learned or where she learned how to act like that, which was her brother. Her brother was behind the whole thing. He ran her Instagram account. He scheduled her collabs. He was basically her manager. Hell, there's even footage of him recording one of Lil Tay's videos, kind of like behind the scene footage. I'm gonna have my editor play it right now.
You're gonna be like more ignorant.
What do I say?
See, Lil Tay's mom had current custody over Lil Tay. And because she had custody, she also had access to all of the money that Lil Tay was making. See, Lil Tay was making a good amount of money from all of this flexing she was doing. It wasn't a lot, but it was a good amount of money, especially for a 9-year-old, but the actual money she was making wasn't actually going to her, it was going to her mother. But see, this rubbed somebody the wrong way. Her father. Now, like I said earlier, her father had a...
She's waging? Crazy. I didn't even know that.
a whole different family in Vancouver, Canada. And to our knowledge, before Lil Tay blew up, he had minimal basic contact with Lil Tay because he's been focusing on his family. He doesn't really care about this girl. But as soon as she blew up, she started making money. All of a sudden, he wants to be in her life again. Now, here's the part of the story where it's a little bit fuzzy. We only get Lil Tay's family's perspective on this. We don't really get the father's perspective on this. So take everything up for the sake with a grain of salt. Basically, what happened is Lil Tay's father seeing her blowing up, going crazy, flexing with all of these crazy collab rappers. See, she was making bread. It was like, I don't like that too much.
Bring back the milk, bro. Bring back the milk. Now out the boom.
Actually, I don't like that at all. I'm finna take your mom to court, which is exactly what he did. He claimed that her mother didn't have proper authority or wasn't emotionally stable to take care of Lil Tay. And since her father had a stable family, and also he was very rich, I forgot to mention that, so he also had very, very good lawyers, he won the case temporarily. I think that's what happened. I'm not really sure. So Lil Tay gets shipped off to Vancouver. And around the time that this happens, the whole Lil Tay movement was put to a firm standstill. From that point on, she stopped uploading for 3 to 4 years straight. No context or no information of what happened to her until 2020. Let's take a break real quick. I need y'all to understand everything I just said was from the perspective of Lil Tay and her family. Like I said before, her father was rich. So it may bring up the question, if he's already rich, why would he want Lil Tay for her money? In all reality,
Yeah, true. Like, if you think about it, you're making too much money. Why do you need another person to make money?
he probably doesn't. He was just trying to be a good father. Now again, like I said, it's been 7 years since this whole controversy has happened, and we still don't really know the truth of the situation. There's a lot of minuscule details that I've skipped by for the sake of y'all. But I will tell you, Lil Tay's management team had a history of doing scummy things or trying to say wild stuff or make wild headlines just to get Lil Tay back to relevancy. Like, for example, in 2020, she faked her death. And if y'all don't remember this happening, it was a big deal because people...
It was her mother's doing, no? Sure it was.
People thought she died at 14 years old. Her IG gained millions of followers almost overnight. And it was a big hashtag to say RIP Lil Tay.
Don't mind me, I'm playing fucking COD Mobile.
All across the internet. Well, that was fake. The report was only made to bring more attention to her name, and it was just all a big sham. See, somewhere down the line, her father lost custody. Now, like I said before, the narrative that they tried to cast upon the father is that he was abusive, he was a hurtful person, he just wanted her for money. Well, this guy is actually a lawyer. He has a family in Vancouver, and the ways that he was being abusive were very sketchy. Like, if you look at the court documents, which hopefully my editor does show you, he's probably not, but hopefully he does. They put on a documents that he would send Lil Tay to school with raggedy shoes and socks. That's not abuse, that's just trying to save money. I mean, I have been sent to school with raggedy shoes and raggedy socks more times than I can count because I was just broke. It is what it is. Also in the report, it said that he's aggressively stepped on her toe, which, I mean, okay, oh well. I mean, with that logic, I've been aggressive.
He couldn't find anything. They started pulling up shit from their ass, bro.
Beaten by my mother because I didn't do the dishes. That's just typical childhood, bro. I'm sorry. Unless he's and then of course they pulled out the verbal abuse, but you can't prove that. So it just seemed like they was just trying to get custody of Lil Tay back so they could make more money. Which it seemed like Lil Tay was cool with. I mean, me personally, if I was a teenager, if I was getting a lot of attention, I was famous, I would want to get back to being famous too. But her father didn't really like that, and he does have joint custody with his mother. So that's why he took her back. But like I said before, somewhere along the lines, her mother and brother gained custody back of her because 2 years later in 2023, seemingly out of nowhere, Lil Tay dropped a video on her TikTok and IG. Hot dog! So yeah, Lil Tay did grew up. She was in this video, by the way, so before you get weird thoughts. But yeah, Lil Tay was back, and now she's a K-pop artist, apparently. She dropped a whole music video, a whole song. She had a whole rollout after she dropped the video, and the news, aka Fearbuck on Twitter, went crazy with this. You know, you have people talking about different things about this topic. Some people were just glad to see that she was okay and healthy. Some people were excited for her music. They liked it.
Some people were trying to sexualize it too. So there was like, oh sure, I've been spotted. Oh shoot, Lil T's cute. That's what people were saying and shit. Some weird shit. No, she's like 16. basically.
I guess they liked it. I don't know. It was kind of what. Some people just liked the way she looked, which again, she's 16. And seemingly, it just felt like she was going to be the next big influencer. She even gave us a little throwback video.
What the f***'s up, bitch? It's Lil Tay. You know what the f*** I'm about. I ain't gotta say it. Number one, I came back after 5 years. Y'all still broke. I'm 100% independent. You trying to stop me? You
She
can't.
sounds like the Hawk Tour girl, bro. I can't even lie. She kind of sounds like her. Literally sounds like her.
I make it back every time. You try to stop me? You try to swap me? You can't. I come back every time, and I come back better. Who the f doing it like me?
How'd she go? She went from 100 to 0 and calm so quickly, man. That's talent. I'm not finna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I can say what y'all want about Lil Tay, but that was kind of cool. I'm not finna lie. It was kind of cool. Nothing to hate there. And if you didn't read this, in the description of this video, she does state that she's fully independent, no major labels. Well, this was a mistake. The reason being is because about 2 weeks after all of this, she kind of just worked out. Nobody was talking about this like after 2 weeks of this. Like nobody cared. And one of the main reasons why I feel like it didn't happen is because even though her music is good, she didn't blow up because of her music. She blew up because she was ignorant. You kind of see she only had like 3 posts after that. I think she had a little bit more, but nobody really cared about her. And I'm not gonna lie, the only thing I really find weird with this whole situation is that they're obviously trying to like not say her body, but they're trying to show it off to get people's attention. I mean, that snake photo, I ain't trying to judge what women should do, but I mean, did we have to take this photo? Come on, bro, like let's be real. Which is weird, but I digress. I'm not a woman. I'm not gonna talk about that. But after that, she kind of went ghost a little bit. I mean, she kept on posting, but nobody really cared. You see, ladies and gentlemen, you should never abandon what makes you famous. It's a part of yourself. It's
like folks. Keep going.
part of your internet persona. If you lose that, you lose a core base of your audience. I feel like if she went into the influencer bag, she could have profited a lot more. Maybe even stayed relevant. I mean, she could have been just a TikToker. I mean, for about a year, I haven't really heard of this girl. I'm not gonna lie. And you're probably the same way, unless you're like a Lil Tay stan. Until about September of 2024, where, like I stated earlier, she started making a series of posts talking about her open heart surgeries. Now, look, I do want to say this. I'm very happy that her open heart surgery went well. But if you've been following along closely this whole video, you do see a common trend. Whenever Lil Tay wants attention again, there's always a tragedy. At first, it was her father. Then it was her fake death, which, by the way, was fake. And she set up, her management team set up. And now she has open heart surgery. It looks like this was an actual real deal. I mean, you see, she
So basically, what he's trying to say is karma got to her before anyone else.
Oh, the footage. You see her in the hospital bed. It doesn't necessarily look good. You got people in here saying it's not fake, which in all reality, I don't really care if it's fake or not. I just hope that she's okay. But in all reality, we see the cycle. Every single time she goes through tragedy, she wants more attention. She's an attention fiend. You see, what Lil Tay did right after this whole process was post her music literally the next day. Literally, like, yo, do y'all not have any souls? You are using every single aspect of your life.
So like basically, you're using this everyone's sympathy after using it just to sell something.
To promote your music. I understand other artists do this, but it's scummy when you do it to the links that you're doing it to. You're they're faking your death every single year. I feel like we as human beings need to tap into our souls a little bit more, because I get every single thing is good publicity, but like I just feel like certain things should just be left alone. And of course, the heart tumor was big news for a little bit too. I mean, you can see how many likes she's getting on these posts. Like, bro, it's a big deal. But again, she's just using it to promote her music. And then look at the pictures. Like, why are we seeing this angle?
Who the hell is this? Jason Love, bro?
Her team is using tragedy in her body to promote her music to make more money. Now, I feel like a big reason why she's doing all of this is because she wants to recreate her 2017 fame. I mean, you gotta look at the perspective of Lil Tay. She technically peaked when she was 9 years old, bro. That's when she was the most famous. That's probably when she was making the most money. She probably envies herself at that age. You see this issue arise with a lot of child celebrities. I mean, we've seen Orlando Brown go off the walls because he peaked when he was younger. But when you look at it from their
Let me see.
perspective, I mean, it kind of makes sense why they go crazy and try to do these publicity stunts. I mean, when you're already 12 years old and you're one of the most famous people in the world, it's kind of hard to kind of progress from that point and stay relevant. And if you don't, you'll end up being 25 years old and you'll only be known as that Disney actor who was popping when they were young but fell off when they got older. That's just something you never want to do. Well, imagine peaking in middle school. So in that case, I do feel for her.
Like the second person, wasn't she second person who was on this, she was in Flash, no?
Ever want to do. Well, imagine peaking in middle school. So in that case, I do feel for her. I kind of feel like the people around her are taking that fact and just kind of using her for money. Because by the way, her brother and mother are just horrible for just raising this girl to be a flexer and just materialistic. Because at 9, you're still developing. Like that, she probably thinks money and fame is the only thing that matters. I mean, she was famous when she was 9. And of course, they do deserve the bulk of the blame. At the same time, Lil Tay, if you see this, wake up. If you want to do music, that's amazing. Keep on doing it. Keep on making good music. You're good. For a 16-year-old, you're really good. I mean, I feel like you have potential. At the same time, don't sell your soul for fame. If you make good music, just keep on posting music and
people get drawn to you since you wasn't quality.
People will come to you because you're Lil Tay. You don't got to use your heart surgery. You don't got to show off your body. You don't got to do any of these other things to become famous. Just become famous off of talent and potentially connections. I mean, I'm sure you got a lot of them, even though all of the 2017 celebrities fell off except Chief Keef. So just do it the right way and stop using these publicity. Stunts like faking your death to become famous again. Like, bro, that's soulless, and I'm telling you, it kind of just feels demonic to do that. All right, I'm just keeping it real. The last thing I want to say about this situation is, back then, a lot of people had problems with her family using her for clout. And me personally, I agree with that wholeheartedly. But at the same time, this is a process that's been used since the birth of Disney. Hell, since the birth of entertainment.
Yeah, even shows like even Disney Channel, Justin Bieber, family was probably using them too. Like everyone does it.
People love using it because they know at that stage of form they're not as aware to what's going on. A lot.
And they also know that because since if they use it to become something good, it basically gives them like what's the word? Not really an advantage. It just gives them some. When they were younger, they would have wanted to become that thing, and you're getting the option to.
A lot of these parents will coach these kids into becoming money cows and depriving them of having an actual childhood just to profit off of them because they can't profit off of themselves. And this is a practice that I feel like needs to be governed way more. Stop using your kids for clout. It's scummy, it's evil, it's weird, all right? If you're not talented enough to blow up yourself, don't use your kid. Let them choose what they want to do. Let them live life. Okay, Post Cloud's back again. Let's get to it. Now, I'm gonna keep it very real. One thing that I've noticed from this whole situation is that greed has shadowed everybody's mind involved in this whole situation. That people let me talk. Lil Tay's mom is greedy for money. Lil Tay's brother is greedy for success and money. And Lil Tay is greedy for fame. She doesn't want to peak when she was 7 years old. She wants to be famous. She wants to get more money. She just wants to be a star. She doesn't care how she does it. Her family also doesn't care how she does it, which is why they're okay with her doing the things she's doing and also showing her body off and taking these crazy pictures while she's still a minor. Which again, I'm trying not to talk about that too much. I'm not a girl, but I just got to call it out. That's weird. But I do want to say something about Lil Tay. I feel like she needs to escape her family, just move in with somebody who's grounded, not famous, not money hungry, and just respectful. Reason why is because I feel like her life has just been all about money so far. And while money is cool, money is not everything. I'm not telling you not to be ambitious. You should still be ambitious as a human being. That's just how we were made. But at the same time, don't sacrifice your morals, your soul, or your happiness just for money. Who is calling you? Journey might take longer, but hey, who cares, bro? Life is about the journey, not getting there. Because I'm telling you, if you look at any famous person who sacrificed their morals just to get famous and rich quicker are all either drugged out or they're miserable. And the reason why they're drugged out is because they're miserable. Money is the root of all evil. It's not evil, but it's the root of all evil. A lot of people will do a lot of crazy things just get a little bit more of coin faster. I'm telling you, if you stick to your morals, money will eventually come. And if you are religious, God will give it to you. Maybe it's just not in the way that you think it will be. Keep that in mind next time you try to go against your morals, bro. It's not worth it. Be on guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions. Luke 12:15. Life is about balance. If you swing the pendulum over to the greed category too much, it will eventually go right back into the shame category. Way harsher than you swung it into the greed. So keep your morals and soul intact. Let me know about any other topics y'all want me to cover. I'm taking these news or drama topics and just making good, quality, soulful videos out of them. Because even though I'm an entertainer, I can still teach y'all something, bro. Using what I believe in to do so. Praise God. Jesus loves you. Stay blessed. Thank you. And goodbye. Stay blessed, y'all.
They're coming straight in. Trust me, I've got nothing.
I am the